जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम करके सामूहिक बंधन लेंगे। लेट अस ऑल humbly bow down at lotus feet of Shri Mata ji and take collective बंधन। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। 3 महामंत्राज एंड श्री गणेश मंत्राज।
Shri Nirmal Dham
ध्यान की इसी स्थिति में अब हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे. In this meditative state, we will now listen Shri Mataji's Amritvani.
But today I want to tell you about the celebration of this night called as Lakshmi Puja. It's the day where they worship Lakshmi. So one has to understand that Lakshmi represents the power by which we evolve. Is the power by we are redeemed, redeeming power, by which we improve from baser self to higher. To begin with, you see, is the Lakshmi form. First is the Lakshmi form. Now this Lakshmi came out of the great journey called as Amrit Mantra, for which I will give you another lecture some other time. But this Lakshmi that came out of the journey represents our seeking into our own well-being. So first of all, we have basic seekings like food. In the animal state, we seek food, and with that seeking only we developed into sometimes very cunning animals, sometimes very ferocious animals, and sometimes very timid animals, because they could not find food, so they had to hide and sly animals. So the food was the beginning, I should say, of this Lakshmi Tattva. But when she becomes actually the Lakshmi, then she has a form that suggests that the spirit of Lakshmi is for the total well-being of humans, total well-being. Now totality is different from partly, because in evolution you see you grow partly till you reach a stage where you really achieve your total well-being, and now you know that without realization your well-being has no meaning. So she has arisen out of the sea, so she is Miriam, you can call it, she is Marie, she is Marie. That's why Christ's mother's name was Mary, because she came out of the sea. People, I don't know if they think about it, why she was called Mary of all the things, or why this name Mary. Now this power which came out of the sea, because the whole thing, the seeking started in the sea first of all, as you know. It had to be in the sea because first the animals were born in the sea only. Becomes, when she comes out of the sea, becomes a Raja Lakshmi and a Griha Lakshmi. Raja Lakshmi is the one where collectively you enjoy your well-being, collectively. On the right hand side you can say, like we have some places which are for public usage here, public well-being, and Griha Lakshmi is the one which is for the individual well-being. So we have the essence of Lakshmi And then when we evolved, we started having our homes, houses, our own family, our own private life, so we had Graha Lakshmi. And then we started having collective, like we can say the queen represents here Raja Lakshmi. The queen represents here the Raja Lakshmi of India. She is a symbol of that. Our queen here is a symbol of that Raja Lakshmi. You know, the word Raja means the kingdom, or you can say the royal side of the reality. So when the Lakshmi is a legal Lakshmi, she is for collectivity. So the queen doesn't live for herself, she lives for all the collective beings. In the same way, the Raja Lakshmi is the one that is for all of us. For example, this place we got here is through the blessings of Raja Lakshmi. She gave us. Her power gave us this place to live. Because you are also yogis, you are the epitome of evolution, you are the highest people in the evolution, you are the ones who are looked after by God, you are the most important people. It's true. And you must be provided for. You should have no problem of money, you should have no problem of housing, you should have no problem of anything. So it is she, the Raja Lakshmi, who gives you all this. Then you have your wife as Graha Lakshmi. So we have to have a wife as Graha Lakshmi. These two things one should understand very, very clearly, because we confuse them. Wife is a Graha Lakshmi, is the one, she is the goddess of the household. Now she has to be the goddess also. I mean, she just doesn't become goddess just by becoming. You have to become again. You have to become the goddess. And the goddess of the Graha Lakshmi is, we can say, that the deity of the Graha, of the house, is the Graha Lakshmi. Now this deity must become one with the housewife. Then the blessing of the Lakshmi essence is of well-being comes to you. If she is not the goddess, you will always suffer. You will always have problems. You will always have all kinds of untold miseries. It is her blessings which brings you solace, peace and redemption of it. So that's why the left nadi is very important, as we know, and that is always bad in the West. So I would say that the whole society is responsible for spoiling that, because housewife is not respected. First of all, we should blame our society. Our housewives are not respected. Housewife, the one who is a dedicated wife, even placed higher than yatis. Yatis are the highest evolved, let's say, avadhutas are the highest evolved seers. And a dedicated wife has got more power than even a yati, it is said. And even Krishna was a little worried about that. Everybody had to worry. So the dedicated wife, you see, the Graha Lakshmi, is such an important thing, because she is the essence of this well-being, which is peace. I think I have so far never talked to you about peace. And peace is only achieved through the Graha Lakshmi, through your proper adjustment of your spleen, I should say. Because spleen is the giver of the blood cells. Alright? It creates the nutrition for the whole body. If there is no peace in that area within us, the whole system can go out, because that's the nourishing center within us. That's the nourishing center. And that center which nourishes also peace. See the peace. You must have heard this. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samstita. The goddess, that is the Shanti, which is present in every human being. So this peace is only possible if the housewife realize their importance bear it upon themselves of forgiving and are redeeming the family life. They have to redeem the family life. And where this gets spoiled, the whole system goes out. See, America went, I found all of them have got left now. Alright. And they are very violent, extremely violent. And what I felt that in the beginning, the society neglected the housewives, the institution of housewives, which is a goddess. And now the women cannot forgive them. Because the women cannot forgive them, it has become a big trouble there. The children have become violent. I mean, if the housewives are not all right, there will be always one. I'll give you the example in India. We have in the north and the south two types of system, because in the north the Muslims ruled and they had the system of keeping the women in the parda system and all those, and lot of prostitution and all those ideas came through those horrible Nawabs who ruled in the north. In the south it was the other way around, because they kept to the dharma and all those things and they wouldn't accept this kind of a nonsensical ideas. They looked after their women. Even the people of the north sometimes say that the south people are very sort of henpecked, whatever it is, say Maharashtra downward. Now, because of that, there's so much of difference in the law and order system in that same country. For example, in Maharashtra, if you are going by bus in the night, any time, 2 o'clock you have seen, nobody plunders you, nobody is bothered, the bus is going through, you can live here, stay here, nobody steals anything. The servants in Maharashtra are so good, they never touch your things. I mean, you can leave the keys with them. They will do all your house up and they will never touch anything, your money, anything they cannot touch. They will never touch. Same about, say, any funds or anything like, we can say our Sahaj Yoga funds, no, never a problem in Maharashtra. Say Puja funds and all that, all these things they understand. But the main thing is the housewife in Maharashtra is an important thing, very important. So in the house, she is the lady and the Lord is outside. Whatever she says goes. But when it is the other way around, everything goes upside down. It can never be blissful. But that doesn't mean that the woman should also say outside as well as inside. I mean, the woman should not interfere with the husband's work in the office, should not dominate there, like so many these women like Chankai Sheikh's wife did and all these people did. That's not necessary. She should be a support. But in the house, she is the one who should be respected. She must be respected in the household. Otherwise, there cannot be auspiciousness, there cannot be peace. And peace is the gift of Grahalakshmi. Now some people may say, oh, it's all right, they are not having a good time, the wife is bad, but she's got money. Money is not Lakshmi. This confusion must be absolutely removed from your mind. Last time I explained to you what Lakshmi is, but you can go through again that tape if you want to, but I'll tell you for short that Lakshmi has got 4 hands and she stands on a lotus. And she's a body which is, not a slim type of a body, but she has a substantial body, but she stands on a lotus. Means wherever she lives, you see, she doesn't show her presence by saying she is so beautiful that she adjusts herself even on a lotus. She doesn't exert her weight like cheap women do. Anywhere they go, they'll say, oh, I don't like this and I like that and I would like to have this and I would like to sleep in a place like this and I like this type of thing. So the first quality of a woman who is a Lakshmi is adjustability. No one feels her. When she is there, nobody feels. Only thing they can feel her fragrance like a lotus. That's the sign of a woman who adjusts herself. She is not bothered about her own life, but she is bothered about others. Now we had a very funny incident. We had a lady from Germany and I told them that it's better that the girls should wait till the boys have their food, look after them, and then the girls can have their food, you see. It's better. And she felt it better. On the contrary, it is invariably done in India, invariably, that the woman will always wait till the husband finishes the food because she can look after him better. I mean, it's a privilege. It's more mature that you can look after your husband, that you can look after your children. It's your job. You are responsible for it. You are the lady of the house. You are supposed to do it. Like Rima told me that here nobody asks you for food or anything. Everybody is eating whatever they want to eat. They go and eat anytime they want. They will eat anytime and they go on eating and eating and eating. Nobody asks that you come and have food or anything. That's done in India. So she said, I waited for a day. Nobody asked me. Then I said, I better take something for myself. So the ladies have to take up upon themselves that they invite people, ask them to eat and cook for them special things. You see, this is the job of a woman. She has to develop these qualities, the womanly qualities of feeding and looking after them when they come to their house. She should not make faces and try to show this is my private house, nobody come in the house. She should be the one who should welcome more than the husband should. She should be the one who people should feel closer to, like the brothers and sisters of the husband or relations. She should be the one who should give that feeling of security, of peace and of welcome. It is her job. Then she becomes the Lakshmi. So the well-being is not only that you have money. So what happens with her? The well-being part of it, that she has in one hand. Hand is like this. That means that with one hand it should grow. Remember, it should go. She must pay. She must pay. She must pay. And she should not demand at all. Others should say that you must have this. An example I'll say that for the last, I think, 4 years he is trying to buy one solitaire ring for me. Because I gave away all my diamonds to my daughter. Try, cannot do it. Just try to neutralize it. No, not this time, next time, this time, that time. I'm just, because, you see, I know he wants to buy that sufficient for me. Isn't it? So I'm postponing it. It's alright, we do it now, you have to have a house and this, like. So the demanding, you see, that gives me this, there's no need. Let the men start seeing that, oh, she doesn't have this. She should have this. It is they who should do it, and the woman should never demand. It's a sign of bad manners, actually, according to Shri. You should never demand for it. You should have forbearing. You should be able to bear it. Not with a sort of a big martyrdom, oh, I'm bearing up and all that. No. But with the understanding that you are grown up and you are mature, you are supposed to bear it. Now the responsibility on men also is there, that when she is giving, they should allow her to give. You see? But I find it's the other way around here, is that the women are not so generous as the men are. It's the other way around. Women are, you see, if they find somebody has come to their house, they will secretly go and cook something and pass it on. They let the husband not see. They feel that satisfaction of Annapurna. You see, the feeding, that feeling of feeding your own child, and feeding somebody else who has come, you see, from the back door, they just pass on very sweet it is, very sweet it is something they, I think they are brought up that way or it's inculcated. So it's such a nice thing that you can feed someone. Or if somebody is coming, then they know what that person eats, so they'll cook it very sweetly and keep it. And then when the person comes in, they'll put forward that this should be done. So the man has to hide his money because the wife will be giving up. It's the other way now. But when the woman starts becoming selfish and self-centered and worried about money and all that, then it's wrong. She should not be extravagant about herself, like going to some place, buying something expensive for yourself, then going somewhere, buying something expensive for yourself. But doing for your husband, doing for your children, doing for others, and automatically they do for you. They are anxious to do it. Just start. thinking on those lines. But now for men, they must also understand that they have to have that due. You see, this ego-oriented society is very tilted one. If you just say, all right, do what you please, you have this money, you spend this money, then the men, you see, they can just take it for granted. Ego-oriented, you see. They can just take it for granted and say, all right, then don't be worried. So when the mutual understanding is not there, when there is an imbalance, then these things come up. But in Sant Yoga, we should understand. You have to look after your wife, her needs, everything. You have to give her due respect. You are never to insult her in the presence of others. It is absolutely forbidden. But the women also should know how to respect their husband, not to be provocative and use all their cunning against their husband. You see, I have seen people sit down and plan out how they will insult their husband in what. This is absolute. You have to love your husband. You have to really love him and forgive him like you would forgive your own child in the same way. But the husband also, it's a very mutual thing. I cannot just tell something to the women and not to the men. It's absolutely essential that men must respect their women as goddess. As goddess. But women have to behave like goddesses. They behave like street women. Then a competition starts. The man behaves like a street man and the woman behaves like a street woman. Then they behave like so people and they behave. I mean, it goes on, competition. But if you have to synthesize it to bring to the balance, then both of you must decide that you can only enjoy if you have proper balances among them. One person goes one way, another person goes that way. There's no end to it. There's no end to it, and the chariot will never move forward. Both the wheels have to be balanced, realizing that without this wheel the another cannot exist. So this is as important as the other. But they will say that I am important. No, she is important if I have peace. Or she has to say he is important because I have to. It's such a mutual thing. So to get the Graha Lakshmi point, I must say that the woman should behave like a Graha Lakshmi with her dignity. I mean, it is really indignified even to ask something. Why? What is to ask? If you are all on your own, whenever you want to get married. Try to develop that glory within you. And the men respect their women as really as Graha Lakshmi. It's very good. Respect them, look after them, and know that the deities, once they are identified with your wife, you will have no problem. Now, on the other hand, she has one hand of protection. That the Lakshmi gives protection. Always gives protection to everyone, even against the husband. Even against the husband she protects. So, for example, I'll say my own sister-in-law was such a Lakshmi like that. Yeah, my own sister-in-law was like that. And if my brother was little, because they were much older than us, she was hard on us. So she used to come out with the protection. She said, no, how can I say that to them? So sweet she was, you can't do that. And then the brother, I mean, my own brother, you see, she would say that, no, you can't do this. Same thing with me, my own sister-in-law was more attached to me than to my husband for the same reason, because I would always protect her against even the husband. Though he's her brother, I mean, naturally they are very close to each other, naturally. But you should protect their interest to that extent. Then protect your servants. Protect those who come to your house. That is her duty. If she does it, she can do it very well. Now, I'll give you one of the examples. In my own lifetime, I was in Delhi, and that time this trouble had started of what we call this partition, and many people ran helter-skelter. And once I was just sitting outside my father's house, I was meeting because Kalpana was to be born, and I was sitting outside, and a lady came to me and she said, we are refugees, we have no place to go to, and will you be able to give me some place in your house? I said, all right. It was a huge house of my father. I said, it's such a big house, and we have a restaurant outside which is arranged, and also you can have a kitchen there and a bathroom. She said, we have a friend and my husband, can we stay here? I said, all right. So we arranged for their stay there, and And it so happened that people in my family didn't like it very much. Especially my brother, you see, my husband told him that I wouldn't like this lady to be here. God knows what sort of a lady she is. And my brother said, now if she has said it, if my sister has said it, I can't say anything. She's the one who has to decide about this house. So it is her job to decide, so I can't say anything. So they all kept quiet about it. They stayed over. And this man, her friend, her husband's friend, was a Muslim. And there was a big riot in Delhi, very big riot. And so many Hindus, you see, like these Jamsangis and fundamentalists, that formed a horrible group which was killing many Muslims also. So from the servants and all that, they must have known that there's a Muslim staying in this house. So they came to my house, about 5-6 of them, with clubs and this and that. So the people got frightened, so I told this Muslim that you go and hide in my room, I'll go and fetch them. Went outside. So they said, we have heard there's a Muslim in your house. I said, no, there isn't. Because that's not their right to know. They said, there isn't any Muslim in this house. They said, we'll have to go and search. I said, you cannot. If you have to go, you have to kill me and then go. And now they saw my big teacher and all that. You cannot get inside the house. If you have to go, I'll stand. You cannot go in my house at all. You cannot enter. So they left. They knew there was a Muslim, otherwise I would not protect them. But because I was protecting, they could not say anything, just went up. And the fellow was saying. Then this lady became a very big, well-known actress in India. But she did lots of things. The whole thing then changed. But what I'm saying, that a housewife has to protect. The Lakshmi has to protect. The man who has money must protect. See, they must have people in his ashraya, means in his protection. Like servants, you can have servants' family. Some people treat their servants very badly and they are very ill-treated, and that's not the way Grahalaksmi used to be. Or anybody, say some students are staying in the house or some children are staying, some say you have some people in the house like lodgers, you can say, or Rajyogis now staying, say, with people who are to be looked after, with women. They have to protect always from others. That is the job of a Lakshmi. The mother has to protect her children. Whatever may be the wrong with the children, but she has to protect her children against all the rest of the children. Of course, not in wrong things. She should not tell. Always I have to tell the other side of it, because you might say that my child has gone and beaten somebody else. So that's not good. That is not protection. What I'm saying, if the children are under any peril or any trouble, it is the Lakshmi who has to protect. This is the job of the Graha Lakshmi. Right side is the Raja Lakshmi. The Raja Lakshmi is the, we can say, the queen of a place. Now here the queen and king is one. But what I'm saying, where the king and the queen are two different, then the queen of the thing has to have that dignity. Thank God our queen is quite a Raja Lakshmi, I must say. I'm very happy with her. She has that dignity and she has that sense, and she's a sweet lady. And she's really a good person. Thank God you have a good lady, and Diana also is another realized soul who is coming now, will be another blessing for it. So it is her well-being, you see. Her, I should say, the essence of well-being permeates that peace, that happiness and that good thing. If supposing a man is a president is there and his wife is a very funny woman, like this Kennedy's wife was, there can never be peace, neither in the society nor, because wherever she'll go she'll create a problem. She'll go to a society, she being the first lady, everybody will try to follow her. You see, here also you know that when Queen Elizabeth had some sort of a problem on her neck, she had some sort of a patch or something, so she started using a collar, and everybody had that Elizabethan collar, you see, all this thing, like whatever problem, say, Victoria had and she made a dress, others had to wear the same types of dress. So all the collective patterns and fashions and all those things come through this first lady. So the first lady is the Raja Lakshmi. And one has to respect that Raja Lakshmi as the woman, the queen. Now for example, this country is already cursed because 7 queens were killed in this country. Already cursed, I must say. So how we think, I mean, how did people allow any one king to be doing that? 7 of them is too much. It's already a custom. So this kind of a thing is, we can go to a point, these things. At the most you can arrest, or at the most, these are not, of course, good women. I was telling you about those who are like that. For example, Mao's wife, they thought was not so good and all that. But one should not humiliate, because if you humiliate them, then you are humiliating that principle of Rajalakshmi. And then to put them to prison and then to kill them like this and wash their dirty linens on the street, means there's no dignity at all about it. See? So we'll have to keep the dignity, the serenity of a Rajalakshmi. And that Rajalakshmi is very important for India, because we are missing in Rajalakshmi nowadays. And that Rajalakshmi comes through the activity of the people. And if you are inactive, Rajalakshmi will go down. So we come to the point that we have to be active. We have to be active, producing more wealth. You see, not like taking out the wealth from here, putting to something else, but we should produce more wealth. How do we produce more wealth? We should see that. By changing forms, by anything, we should get to it that we should produce more wealth. For example, if Yogis thinks that, all right, I'm not going to work and I'm going to sit at home and I'm just going to be a sort of a dishwasher, that's not the way. Yogis have not only to work, but to work according to their deserving. Apart from that, they should improve. Like you see somebody, oh, I'm all right, I can paint a little bit, but if it comes to something better painting, then I think I'll have to get somebody else. That means at least you don't know even painting. You have to, in activity, you must know that you must perfect a profession. All the Yogis must have a profession which is perfected. It's not like this that I'm just a waster. All right, accepted the situation, I'm a waster, sitting like a waster, and doing no activity. Only when the problems like the ones we had come up, that you start earning money out of women or do sort of useless things like swindling and telling stories, taking out money. So wasters are not allowed in surgery. Anybody who tries to be a waster will be thrown out. Never justify your inefficiency, inadequacy or incompetence. You have to be first-class competent people in every respect. There should be no diffidence in you. If there is diffidence, you are no good for surgery. So, not that you should get after the money, but Rajalakshmi. Means there should be complete activity of your complete manifestation of all your qualities. Try to improve. Try to improve. That doesn't mean you run a rat race like a madcap, nothing of Sahaja Yoga. Not that. It doesn't mean that. I have to warn you there. But you should not be just a waster. That you don't have 2 pounds here and you do like a beggar you are moving about. This is not possible. Try to improve your conditions. Try to improve your technique. Try to improve your competence and understanding of the whole subject. Whatever you take up this or that, get it to it and work it out, sort it out. You should become, you can be research. This is one of the big problems we have of surgery. Do you know that? One of the biggest problems. Because nobody is impressed by it. Nobody is impressed. They think some loonies just gathered around me. Nobody is impressed. Everybody looks like a confused personality who's walking like this. They think that mother must have mesmerized them. And they are all moving like a wave to this and that. So today, on a Diwali, we have to say that we become more competent, expert in whatever we are doing. We have to be people with impression. Now, what impresses people in this world? Only 2 things. Either in the beginning, in superficiality, only 2 things can impress in superficiality. Because firstly they are superficial. When they will see us, they will see our superficial. First they will see, what are you? I mean, if you look like a drunkard, nobody is going to follow. If you look like a hippie, nobody is going to follow. Nobody has any faith in hippies, I must tell you very frankly, anymore. It's an individual system. You cannot be leaders. If you have to be leaders, you are not to be hippies at all. Which hippie has been a leader so far, you tell me? Of course, this thing is dying out. This thing is dying out. We should think about it seriously. That this hippism was just a craze is dying out. Then another craze came in, dying out. That another craze, we are not crazy people. We should know our goal, how we are. We have to impress people. Now only we can impress them superficially, because in the beginning people just see superficial. So the first thing is that we should be such that we should have competence. We should say, for example, if you have to make speech, you should know how to make speech. Now people, when they speak, either they cannot impress or they go on like mad, they put down their heads and say something. That's not the way. You must practice it. Go to the sea, go anywhere in the open, say loudly. You can go, say, for example, to you've got Hypa. And say loudly what you have to say. Say loudly. Practice it. Say how you practice it. Overcome your defense. Do not enjoy your defense. It's not the way. Now no more time left for that kind of thing. Because you see, there is no impression of people on others. They are not impressed by it. You see, with me whatever is impressed is alright, but you have to become the guru, you have to become the leader. And the impression should be on people that you are people who are smart at it, you know the job, you know how to speak, how to present the yoga, and do it in a way that's congenial, loving, affectionate, and not like a volcanic stuff also sometimes. You see people get very volcanic with others, that also. It's complete joy and self-control. It's self-control. This is only achieved through self-discipline. You must discipline yourself. And do not waste yourself. Must have self-esteem. This is one of the biggest lacking in Sahaja Yoga today. There's no impression of people. And this is what one has to do when you're dressing up, how you talk to people, how you behave. That's very important in the outside. But inside, if there is all the time, you harp upon it, oh, I can't do it, this is not for me, this much I can do. Then you have not been kind to yourself and to anyone. So come up to it. I would say everybody must come up to it. And forget those days of taking to drugs and sitting down. Whom are you going to impress with the drugs? Tell me. The another thing that impresses people is hypocrisy, which we cannot take. If you are a hypocrite, if you wear a Bhagavad dress, have a chillum in the hand, and go round, and you say, oh, I am chosen by God, go and sing that way. That you can't do. So the whole thing is, both the things, the nadis, are for our well-being, which is manifested outside as well. I mean, it's alright. We should have a good hotel to live in. Alright, given. Have you got the eliteness of living in a hotel? But put a question to it. You ask for a hotel, you have got a hotel, alright? Have you got that eliteness, or how are you behaving? Just think of it. In this hotel, supposing somebody has to live, for example, XYZ, he will have a particular type of eliteness, isn't it? Even sometimes I find the bags you carry are so dirty, filthy, dented, holes in it. Somebody might think that somebody is running away from this hotel, something is taking. The rags and things should be given up and thrown away. Now I hope there is one word like throw, which is not used. I'm sitting down, I've never come up to see anything. But the throw part of it is less. Throw away all nonsensical things like rags and other things which you think is very good looking, but is not. Please throw it away. See, for example, some of sweaters and blankets and things that people carry are horrible. Color should be smart. See, everything should be smart. You should not look a rugged person. I mean, how are you in Raja Lakshmi state? One has to see the Raja Lakshmi standing. See, there is no need to show that we are beggars. That's only good for the people who are hypocrites, not for us. You see, beggars are normally not beggars. They are hypocrites. So they beg. They earn money. In India, you will be surprised, some of the beggars have got huge big buildings on Marine Drive. They own it. And still their profession is begging. So they are not really beggars. They are hypocrites. You see? They make money like that. So why should we be dressed up like that? Moreover, if you dress up like that, the other side will follow, and that is the bhoot. That will sit on you. Because they want brutish people to look at you. See, they won't sit on a person who is properly dressed, who has got properly done his hair and who is taking bath and all that. They like filth, they like dirt, they like dirty smell, and if you have all these things in you, they will be just on top of your head walking with you wherever you go. They like such things. You see, like you put something filthy, you will find all the flies come down there. See, simple thing. Anything you put filthy, there will be all the worms getting inside that. It's like that. So the way you are, that's how it works. So for your Raja Lakshmi, for your Graha Lakshmi, it is important that you should have self-control in your behavior, how you talk. When you talk, if you talk like a cheap person, or like a person who is dosed with something, then nobody is going to be impressed. How you behave is very important. How you sit, how you talk. The other day, Nima, you see, they asked Nima to speak, and Nima has never spoken, she is quite nervous. So Prabhupada said, you should tell us about our defects. And she said, really something very sensible. She said that I have so many defects, and we Indians all have defects, but what I find about you people is that before mother, when you behave, the protocol is missing. You take her for granted. It's all right, she's Mahamaya and all. But there also, what she said, that for us is just like a setting we had, that this is the goddess, the tradition of goddess is there. And we found her is there like a diamond, we put her in the setting. So it's just done, we have no problem. But sometimes I find the way people walk before her, just like horses, the way they talk, and all those things are surprised. Their behavior is surprised. I can't understand how you can do it when you know she's the goddess. Of course she is. So, in that case, I would say once this Raja Lakshmi business comes up, then you will understand the respect. Because once you respect yourself, you start respecting others also. And that you are all saints. You have to respect each other in the same way. You should really call each other. Even if it is in Hindi language, I would say you should call thou, because we say to each other, please be seated. It's a great respect of each other. It will impress others. Instead of that, in the program, you find somebody slapping each other, holding each other's hair and shouting. What will they think? What things? From where these new type of things have come? Saints have to respect each other. They come to your house, offer them some nice food to sit down. You must see how the saints respect the saints. That respect should be there among yourselves, the oneness, the understanding. Without respect, you cannot have any rapport. And to have a rapport, there should be equal level of understanding, that as I want respect, others must be respected. You should be respectful, I am to be respected. Both things should be done. This is the Lakshmi's thing. And today now, the light. The light is there. Light is a very important thing. From the very beginning, you see, when a man discovered the fire was used in the Graha Lakshmi state, where the food was cooked, and the fire cooked the food, and was used. You see, the warmth of the mother, you see, was shown through that hearth that she used in the house to warm up her children, to give them food and all that. that stage. Then it became, in any collective thing, it is expressed as lights. You see, if you have to celebrate, say, your Republic Day or your Independence Day, we put the lights on. Or we have fireworks. To express ourselves that way is in the Rajalakshmi. Now the Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi is the evolutionary state. In the evolutionary state, when the evolutionary state starts, then the Mahalakshmi starts asserting herself. And that comes when your well-being is established. I mean, if you are still worried as to how to get a cup of tea for yourself, you cannot get to Mahalakshmi. So once that is little bit established and you feel that peace within yourself and that dignity, then the Mahalakshmi power starts acting on you. And the Mahalakshmi power is that it really makes you the light. You have now become the light. Don't have to have any light. You are the light. When you go anywhere, when people see you, they take guidance from you. They use you as a torch which guides them. They will come and consult you and ask you how to go. It is you who are the light. So this is what it is. One has to know that Mahalakshmi Tattva is represented here as the light. And you see these lights will enlighten. Even a small light, how it reacts and how it. And now you have become the light. Even this light can do it. You see, I put my hand to it and it recognizes and moves that. Because it is now enlightened. It is put before the photograph, it's enlightened, it works that way. Now what about you? You are the light now. You are the Diwali for God. Diwali means the rose of light. So you are going to make this beautiful mansion of God full of Diwali light. You have entered into the kingdom of God and you have to enlighten. So you are the decoration of God. On one side, you are the glory of God, and also on the other side, you are the guidelines. You are like the torches, you can say. You are like the, what you call them, which are used by ships, those. Lighthouse. You have to become lighthouses, so that people see you. You stand out, a light. Like that. And for that, you have to have self-discipline. Put your willpower. Put it. Willpower. Put it down. How can I not do it? Now, in this place, I am going to start, in say 2-3 days after Diwali, a morning session. Say about, we can start about 5 o'clock every morning or 5:30 every morning. You have to have your bath before coming here. Say 5:30 or 5 o'clock. Will that go well? Your mother gets up at 4:30, whatever may happen. You have to change your habits. You have to get up in the morning. You know, by getting up in the morning, you finish up so much of work. Because in the night, what do you do? They gossip. That's your time. But if you say that tonight let me sleep late and tomorrow I'll get up early, you'll never. First get up early, then you'll sleep early. The other way around. You see, you have to see your mind how it works. So get up in the morning, have your bath, and sit down for meditation. It's quite a warm room, so have your nice hot bath, sit down for your meditation for about an hour or so, meditate. You'll feel so nice. After some time you cannot sleep after 4:30. Now look at my system. I mean, whether I am in America or whether I am in India and whether I get up at 4:30. How do I manage? I have no watch, nothing like that. I just get up at 4:30. I have tuned myself to the sun. You are tuned more to the moon. I have tuned myself to the sun. When the sun comes at this angle, I have to get up, because that is the time the vibrations have to flow. All over the world, at 4:30 in the morning, all the vibrations, the best type, flow in the purest form. That's why all the seers get up very early, have their baths and sit down for meditation. It's too much, I know, especially for Englishmen. But you have to train yourself. You will do it, you'll like it. If you do it like a festival. Today is a festival day, let us get up and have a nice bath and have a nice soap, you see, perfumed one and nice things. You enjoy. Bath should be a ritual. But should not be all the time. Because I see Reggie sitting there quite happy. Like Indians also, they it's too much, that is not necessary. Too much not, but one. And then if you sit at home for about an hour or so, the house is lighted. I could get this place lighted in the morning. From here, you will be amazed that if you develop this habit, you can do such a lot. Because in the evening you are tired, you cannot do many things, and you are absolutely flat down. See? So you sleep early. And this is English thing, early to bed and early to rise. Not Indian, is it? And that's what we have to do. And you'll be amazed, you'll do 1001 things if you get up early in the morning. So we are going to try that after Diwali. I'm going to announce those who can try with me can do it. And I used to sleep sometimes at 2 o'clock, 2:30, mostly at 2. And get up at 4:30, finish my bath. Everybody was still sleeping and I didn't want to disturb them. Then at about 8 o'clock I would say, now will you please get up? And Gregor, he was the day he had to leave, was saying, oh, it's already 2 o'clock, there are only 3 hours. I said, Gregor, you better sleep now. Worrying about it, you won't sleep, so better sleep. How will I wake up? What will happen? At 5 o'clock I just said, now, I got up 4:30, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. And they all got. Asking. And it's very easy to do it. See, it's very easy. You need not keep like me till 2 o'clock. Then, but if I keep it, then in the daytime I sleep for an hour or so. I make up. But then you will feel sleepy, go off to sleep. In the night, it's a waste of time to keep awake. It's really waste. What do you see these dirty pictures in the TV? What is it? After 9 o'clock, is there anything worth seeing? 9:30, 10 at the most. Then all filth is there. We feel healthier, we'll be much better off. Harry has improved very much with this kind of thing. And morning time you don't think much, you really meditate. It's a very good thing. So just I'm giving one thing for your understanding, that let us work it out, something, or towards self-discipline. Very important. See, the ego doesn't allow you to have a discipline. You say, oh, what's wrong? That's the way we have to put our ego down. And self-discipline will give you, really, I tell you, self-control. Self-control is very important. And that self-control is only possible if you really know how to develop it, inculcate it, and become yourself. It's a beautiful analogy given in Katha Upanishad, that you see the body is like a chariot. It says, body is like a chariot, and the charioteer is the buddhi, and the spirit is the master. The charioteer is the buddhi, is the intellect. Buddhi is better word than intellect is, you see. I mean, you can call it wisdom. Now, the senses are like the horse. Senses are like the horses. They are running here, there, hither, and all that. And the controlling of it, the reins, are in the hand of the buddhi. In the person who is handling it, the charioteer, is the wisdom of the intellect within us. The intellect has to control the senses, and the reins are to be controlled. Now, when you allow the senses to go wherever it likes, you see, and you do not control it, then you are neither here nor there. You say, I know. What part knows, what part goes wrong, where are you? And then why are you doing it? I know, I should have been, I know it's very bad, I know. Why? If you know, it should be your knowledge, it should be your complete being of that kind. If you know, it's done. Knowledge should be one with your behavior. When I know this is white, alright, then I treat it like white, or do I treat it like black? If I know this is the fire, I don't put my hand there. I say, I know it is fire, do I put hand there? So, to control our sense organs, we have to have our buddhi, our mind quite intact and put in the hands of the self, where I doesn't remain, the I do it, I, all that. Spirit doesn't like it. You have to have a very disciplined mind, which should improve your methods of everything, of talking, doing things. I mean, you must improve. All the time you have to improve. If you are reconciled with yourself, then it's finished, and the whole thing is settled down. So that's how we progress, and we go better and better with it. And today's day is a very great day for us, because the saints are celebrating Diwali. I am celebrating my Diwali in lighting your heart. That you enjoy your own joy and your own beauty, that you are now the spirit. Enjoy it, that you are that. Now you are in the kingdom of God, no doubt. I mean, even if you don't do anything anymore, you'll be all right there. But you should not take it for granted. You have to come forward, because your mother needs your help. You have to stand up, you have to rise, you have to come up, you have to become the leaders of tomorrow. You have to go to them, and not just be talkers and thinking big and saying big things. And even if I ask you to wash a spoon, you cannot do it. What's the use? So you are tomorrow's citizens, you are the ones who are going to impress people. I expect you to have an understanding about what you have to achieve. But don't sit down and plan, because planning means you will never do it. You sit down, plan, tomorrow morning I'll get up in the morning, I'll do my meditation, write it down in a book. And 3 days you will never get up, because you have already written it down. You have planned it. You have planned it. The planning is done. Why should you do it actually? It's done. You've done it. In the diary. It's all there. That's what planning is. Planning is you sit down. Alright, so what should we do? I sit down. Nothing happened. What happened? Everything in the planning. Who's going to revise it and see it is done? And that's how mentally we have a satisfaction. Oh, we've done it. See, all of us sat together. We had a big committee meeting. We have talked. We decided this, mother, we have decided on this and decided. And what have we achieved? Nothing. How is it? What have we decided? To achieve. That is what it is. That's not planning. So you do not plan, but just get up tomorrow morning. Alright? Try that. Do not plan, because planning is the one that fixes you up, not to do a thing. And that is led to this kind of a chaos in this country and everywhere. Just a plan. Plan for what?
अब हम सब श्री माता जी की आरती करेंगे। नाउ वी विल ऑफर आरती टू श्री माता जी।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर दुख से दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति श्री कल की साक्षात श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः बोलो श्री आदि शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
श्री माता जी, आज के इस सुंदर ध्यान के लिए हम सब आपके श्री चरणों में कोटि कोटि प्रणाम करते हैं। श्री माता जी, we humbly bow down at your lotus feet for today's beautiful meditation. जय श्री माता जी।